Hey, Faith Walkers. Walk on in, walk on in, walk on in, and welcome. I'm Dr. Andrea Carter, your faith mentor, and I'm here to just try to not cheat the world, but treat the world and share the gift that God has placed inside of me, hoping that I would inspire you and you in return inspire others to be the best they can possibly be. I want to talk to you today on a topic that's called Dare to Be You. And what does that mean, dare to be you? Some of us out there are saying, I'm myself every single day. But if we're being honest with ourselves, are we really truly being our true self? Are we engaging in being a copycat? And let me say this, Faith Walkers. In 2021 and in 2020, we've heard a lot about being our authentic self, authenticity, and what does it mean to be authentic? And a lot of times we are really not being authentic. I want to ask you this one question, Faith Walkers. What cost did you pay going through life acting the part of playing a character? And I'm talking to myself as well, because I played many characters in life. I played many characters in life because of my broken states. But I want to say that, what is authenticity? When we are looking to purchase a Louis Vuitton or bag, I love designer shoes. And there's a rapper, I think her name is Andrea, and she mentioned some designer shoes recently. And it was trending, and actually the shoes in the store sold out. So we want, in the material things, bags, shoes, clothes, we want authentic. We want the real thing. We want the real Louis. The first question that we ask is this a real Louis? Is this a real LV? Or we ask, is this a real Gucci? Is this real Louis Vuitton? Because we want authenticity. We want authenticity in all of our material things. But when it comes to us and showing us and who we are to the world, we shy away from authenticity. We shy away from being the real us, the real you. And let me tell you why. Being the real us, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage. And it also opens us up to vulnerability. And let me show you a story I had. I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and she was like, "Oh, pray for me, Andrea, because I'm a mess." And I said, "Hey, we're not going to subscribe to the fact that we're a mess. Now, we are under construction, we are a work in progress, but we're not a mess. Nobody is perfect." And so when we look at what does it mean to be authentic? Psychologists say that to be authentic means to be at the core of who you really are, who you really was made to be, embracing all of you, embracing the good as well as the not so good, because we are all a work in progress, Faith Walkers. So don't be ashamed of what you may have done in the past, because the not so good things about you, all we have to do is work on it. Every day, what we want to do is dedicate our lives to God and be better today than we were yesterday. Let me continue on. Again, Faith Walkers. A lot of times when we're not being our authentic self, what happens is we begin to subscribe to the life of being a copycat. But let me tell you about daring to be you and being your authentic self. I always tell people that you can never beat me being me. You can never beat me being Dr. Carter. And Dr. Carter, no matter how many degrees I have, no matter how many plaques I have on my wall, I can never beat you being who you are. Because God has made you unique. God has made you wonderful. God has made you beautiful. And God has a specific plan for you. And I say God works backwards, because before God formed you in your mother's womb, He had a plan for you. He had a plan. He had a problem that He knew that you, Jessica, you, Maria, you, Alicia, He knew that He needs you to come down on earth to complete this plan. So when we begin to align ourselves with God's perfect will for our lives and begin to embrace our authentic self, then we could dare to be ourselves. Then we could actually live the life of our dreams. And how do I know that? Because I'm living it. I'm witnessing, I'm seeing it for myself. When I begin to align myself up with the perfect will of God, God tells us in the Bible that I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. That means that when we align ourselves with God's perfect will, our desires becomes His desires, because our desires are to please Him, and His desires become our desires. How do we know what to do? How does that look like? How does our purpose, what is our purpose? How does that look? It looks like going and just sitting in the morning, just going into your core, getting out of just going into your core and meditating, sitting in a quiet place and just speaking to the Spirit that is within you. What does this day look like for me today? What do I need to work on today? What do I need to learn today that's going to help me for my tomorrow? And so I hope, faith walkers, that I said something that would encourage you, that inspired you to be the best you can possibly be. And I said something that you can actually share with someone else to encourage them on their way. And I want to tell you, faith walkers, that God has a specific plan for your life for you to fulfill. God has, and I want to share this story with you. I'm going to share this story, and it's a personal story about my life. I've started a couple of charter schools before. I started several businesses before. God blessed the work of my hand, definitely. But I truly felt that as I began to mature, that was not God's perfect will for my life. There was a little happiness, but I didn't walk in the fullness of joy. And the reason why I didn't walk in the fullness of joy, because it wasn't God's perfect plan for my life. There is a perfect plan that God has for our life, but He will not go against your will, faith walkers. You can choose your permissive will, or you can choose God's perfect plan for your life. And I always tell people, and I ask people this question, faith walkers, do you trust God with your joy? Because with God's perfect plan, there's the fullness of joy. And our permissive will, faith walkers, a lot of times it's a little chaotic, because we're trying to make our own way, basically, which is off the path that God has for us, faith walkers. So I want to leave you with this, faith walkers. Dare to be who you are. Dare to be who you are. Yes, sometimes it leaves us vulnerable, but you're beautiful. You're amazing. You're destined for greatness, faith walkers. And until next time, faith walkers, please like, please share, please subscribe. And always, it's faith over fear, faith walkers.